Hi, I'm Carla Spampanato and I work for Redcliffe Family and Community Support Services, and I'm the Special Events Coordinator for the town of Redcliffe. I get the privilege of working with some of our community's volunteers and organizations, and here are some of the volunteers that are doing outstanding work in our community.
I guess for myself personally, volunteering, you kind of get a bit of satisfaction when you ride a trail that you actually built and helped design. We talk about, in mountain biking, we talk about earning your turns, and usually that means if you climb to the top of the hill, you get to ride down it. But when you extend that to volunteering, it also kind of goes into, if you built the trail that you're riding, you just get a little bit extra satisfaction out of that. And it's also very exciting to see other people out there enjoying the trails that that I've been involved with as well. We went from essentially no trails in the town of Redcliffe to about 12 to 13 kilometers of official, on the map sanctioned trails within the town of Redcliffe. For the group, it meant that mountain bikers actually had a place that they could find that could go ride. It's designated for certain levels of riding, so people also knew what they were getting into. Before you just didn't know whether it was going to be a black diamond or a green run or whatever, and now people actually know what they're getting into. It also means that outside of the community, outside of southeastern Alberta, we're attracting people to come here to ride because the town of Redcliffe, the area around there is very cool and very unique in Alberta. So most places that people mountain bike and associate mountain biking with is alpine, so like Cypress Hills, like the mountains. But here we have very badlands terrain, very rugged, very few trees, but it has its own character, and that's something that mountain bikers tend to look for new experiences, and that's something that's very different and very close to home for most people. We also have a very long mountain biking season here. Most places, they're starting, especially in the mountains, they're starting to ride maybe May, April if they're lucky. Whereas here, a lot of years we're starting in March. And same thing with the other end of the season. In the fall, a lot of places are getting snow in October, and we're still riding till, I think we rode till November this year. Volunteering in this region is critical because we really, especially with the town of Redcliffe, they don't have a lot of money to put into things like recreation, and that's something that a volunteer can really fill the void. I typically put in about 100 to 200 hours of trail work a year, spread out between all the regions that 670 Collective's involved with. And yeah, it's been critical, and we also found that success kind of breeds success. Once you kind of show people what can be done, then all of a sudden money does start to come out of places that, oh, if you can do this, then maybe if we spend some money we can do this. So I think that's another reason that volunteering is pretty critical. We have a lot of different volunteer jobs that people contribute to. Certainly our board of directors do a lot of sort of the oversight and that kind of stuff. For myself, I'm the trail coordinator, so I make sure that we negotiate with the town, with the cities and other areas to make sure that we have permission to do what we're doing, and then I gather up the volunteers to actually help build the trails that we're working on. There's certainly times where it starts feeling like a job and you don't want to be doing this anymore. What I find is once you push kind of past that and you're just out in the area and you're working on the trails and you see people coming through the area that haven't ridden in this area before, or kids that are starting to learn how to ride and are kind of seeing that for the first time, that's probably one of the bigger thrills and the justification for volunteering at the end.
As you can see, the town of Redcliffe has numerous opportunities for volunteering. We want to thank our volunteers for making Redcliffe a vibrant place to work and play. For more information on how to volunteer in the town of Redcliffe, call the Community Protective Services Department at 403-548-3232.